What's up everybody, this is Jeremiah, and today I'm going to react to the video, 7 Deadly Sins is Weird by Murasaki Juice. Now, we all know 7 Deadly Sins, it's a good show, but their animation is a bit jiffy. 7 Deadly Pixels, 7 Deadly Pixels. That was funny back then. Their fandom, I particularly don't know, because I've mainly heard when the MHA fandom, Sonic fandom, any type of fandoms from this guy. Shouts to you, by the way. Shouts to you, Murasaki Juice. Shouts to you. But yeah, I'm in for the ride because I really don't know what 70 Sins fans are about or what's in this video. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, and let's react.
Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, when it comes down to any kind of media, I am not too into shipping. Like, there's never been a time where I've been watching a show and I've desperately wanted two people in fiction to get together. Although, I am well aware that people like that do exist out there, and sometimes they care a little bit too much, but that's just not me, okay? My interest is usually focused on the story being told more times than not. But I'm also not an idiot. I can tell when a certain couple or a ship is being honed in on, when two characters are very obviously made to be the endgame of the series. And for the most part, it's usually nice, a little romance element here and there, but it's never really been a make or break for me. Unless I'm watching a romance, then well, obviously I'm not gonna watch a fucking romance if the romance isn't good. But there has been one time where the shipping was so bad in a shonen anime I had to stop watching. I had to turn it off. I couldn't fucking stomach it. And that's crazy coming from me because that's never happened to me before. Shipping in shonen for me is like frosting on a Krispy Kreme donut. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm not gonna kill you if it's not on it. But for this anime right here, my good lord. Instead of frosting on that donut, they sat on it with their bare ass cheeks. I had to switch it off. I couldn't stomach it anymore. 7 Deadly Sins should go down as having some of the worst romance elements of all time. Now, if you guys have seen this anime in passing and you're probably thinking back and saying to yourself, oh, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad, you say? Well then, let's fact check that.
What's up, little girl? Are you lost or something?
Humans have short lives, so they enter a contract together called marriage in order to live on.
So do you love me the way they love each other, Harlequin?
Of course they do.
Don't touch her!
I just...
Keep your hands off my woman, understand?
That's a baby. Leona, that's a baby. When I first saw this dog, I'm like, come on, son. Come on, son. That's a baby. That's a baby. Oh, dog. Come on, dog.
Me?
Yeah, sure. Not that bad. Now, if you don't mind me, I need a moment because I'm about to be fucking ill. You're a bit of an odd guy, aren't you? You can fool Netflix and the rest of the world, but you can't fool me. I know what you are. Nakaba Suzuki, the author of 7 Deadly Sins. And if you haven't seen it, then, well, I'm just gonna put a spoiler warning right here because
I haven't seen the show.
I'm gonna be talking about it. And if you have seen it, then
I've seen some clips of it. I've seen some clips of the show. It's alright. But I haven't fully watched the show.
You can probably tell where this video is gonna go. Now, this anime is fairly popular, I guess, but for the most part, it flew under the radar for a lot of people. And honestly, it's not really its fault. I mean, it came out in the era of One Punch Man, Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan. It didn't really stand much of a fucking chance. I feel like in the broader anime community, everyone's seen this thing, but no one really cares about it. It just always felt like one of those series that you watch just to say you've watched it. And I am guilty of this myself. I remember watching this when I was like 12, and I really didn't care about it, to be honest. And it always bugged me that I never truly gave this series a chance. So recently, I decided to watch Nakaba Suzuki's 7 Deadly Sins from episode 1. And, well, it's not great, but it's far from the worst thing I've seen in my life. However, I had to stop watching this shit. I had to call it quits. I made it to like season 4, which is a pretty good distance within the series, but for the life of me, I had to stop watching it. I just could not stomach it anymore. Now, the story itself isn't bad, 7 magical beings in the medieval times who are fighting back demons who are attacking the world. It's not bad. The reason why I had to stop watching was because of the shipping. The shipping is so weird. And it's not because there are characters who I wanted to get together but didn't get together. Trust me, I'm not one of those freaks. weeks. But it's because the author is constantly shipping his main characters with children. Why? And he's so cheeky when he does it. He'll do like little droplets. Like he'll put it in little droplets that are digestible. Like you'll be watching it and think to yourself, oh, it's not that bad. And you don't realize it until you take a step back and think to yourself, what the fuck is on my screen? And it's so subtle that I'm willing to bet that most people who watch this anime didn't even realize how strange this was. But here's an example. Here's a 10 out of 10 prime example as to why this author needs to be investigated right now. Meliodas, the main character of the series. Now don't get me wrong, as a character he is pretty cool. He's the son of the Demon King, but he turned out good and he has all these powers and he is a cool character. And he's also 1,000+ years old. I just felt like that part was relevant. And his romance story takes place with Elizabeth, the character he meets in episode 1, who is 16 at the time, so it's not great. Honestly, Japan, you lot need to sort that out there. But over their adventures and over their many journeys together, they eventually fall in love. And they basically become the prime couple of this series. And that would be fine if some other parts were ruled out. But the biggest problem with this couple for me is that episode 1 isn't the first time they meet. Here is. I don't think I need to be the one to explain why this is a fucking
like, dude, you 1,000. I can't understand. I can't imagine a 1,000-year-old dude. I just can't. I really didn't. I didn't watch 70 Sins. I didn't even know this was a thing when I was a kid back then. But now I'm seeing this. It's like, dude, you're over 1,000 years old, preying on a baby. It's like, hands off my dude. I can't believe some of my classmates back in middle school actually liked this show. I'm not naming names. If you know who you are, you know. I know if you know who you are, you used to like this show. They used to like this show. Oh my god, dog. Because back then we were making up for parents. Like, hey, can Meliodas be Goku? No, he cannot. But as show wise, it's like it's alright. It's just ain't that. It's not my cup of tea. It ain't my cup of tea. Not my shonen. You know, like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Black Clover, JJK. It ain't one of those guys. Ain't one of those guys. But I don't defend this. I don't defend this, okay? I don't defend this.
Issue. And it looks like it was taken out of context, but the more you know, the worse it gets. Now, a quick lore dump of 7 Deadly Sins. 1,000 years ago, prior to the beginning of the series, there was an ancient holy war between angels and demons, where Meliodas was on the demon side and someone called Goddess Elizabeth, not to be confused with the mainline Elizabeth, because the author was that fucking lazy he couldn't rename a character, was on the angel side. But on some classic Romeo and Juliet type shit, Meliodas and the goddess Elizabeth fall in love, but the Demon King didn't like that, so he cursed Meliodas with eternal life, and he cursed the goddess Elizabeth to die and reincarnate over and over again, forcing Meliodas to constantly seek out her reincarnation. The only problem with that is that every time she reincarnates, she doesn't have her memory, and every time she regains her memory, she is fated to die within 3 days. Now, during one of these reincarnation cycles, you know, his love dies, yeah, it's part of the curse. The same second she dies, he finds a dying woman holding a baby, and you can probably put the dots together here. That baby grows up to be the Elizabeth that is in the story. And he gives the baby away to, like, royalty, and they adopt her and take care of her or whatever. So this whole thing is bad. Like, it is fucking weird. Why is he courting a baby? Why is he promising to marry a baby? It's odd. Right, it is weird. But I wouldn't have too much issue with it story-wise if he just dropped her off and left it at that. But that's the problem. He doesn't leave. The whole time he's in and out raising her, and he practically becomes a family friend, knowing in his mind that this is someone he's harboring romantical feelings for. I don't know about you guys, but where I'm from, there's a word for that. Him helping raise his future wife adds nothing to the story. It's just a weird fantasy that the author threw in for no fucking reason. It doesn't tie into the story in any meaningful way. She doesn't even recognize him in episode 1 because everyone has fucking amnesia in this show. It's just weird to me. I don't have a problem with the reincarnation stuff. I only have a problem when he starts raising his future wife. And it genuinely serves no purpose to the story. You could write this out and everything will play out perfectly the same. Yeah. You're an odd fella, aren't you? Meliodas and Elizabeth have odd stuff going on here, but they're one of the better ones if you ask me. For them, it just felt like the author got a bit cheeky in some areas. And it's not even the first time he's done this. They aren't even the only couple in the series that do this. King and Diane, two characters in the main cast of the main 7 deadly sins. Now once again, on the surface, there's no problem. King does look a bit childlike, but that's just half the fucking cast at a certain point. The issue is how they meet and how their romance blossoms. Now, King is the king of the fairies, and yes, I know, very creative name. And before he even meets Diane, he's like 1,000 years old, because fairies age differently. And as you can clearly see here, Diane is a giant, and giants age differently. Now, within the context of the story, King met Diane when he was about 1,000, and Diane met King when she was 50. Which doesn't sound too bad. I mean, 1,050 sounds a lot better than 1,016. And it sounds all nice and dandy until you factor in that 50 in giant years is like fucking 3 in human years. And
I'm sorry, what? Wait. You're telling me that in giant, so this is like the thing with dogs, like the dogs being like 14 or 13, but yet in human years are like in their like 70s or 80s. So you're telling me that King met Diana, right? At 50 years old, equivalent to in human years, that's 3? Okay. No, thank God I didn't watch the show fully.
this is where their romance started, when she was about 3. And they lived together for 500 years. And during that time period, she was canonically a toddler throughout all of it. So just casually another character raising their wife. And this really wouldn't be much of an issue if this was just a childhood romance, if they were both kids. But it's just not. King is over 1,000 and is fully matured by this point. He ruled over a nation. He was the king of the fairies. And yet, even after having the maturity of someone who can lead a nation, he still manages to fall in love with a toddler. Nice one. Honestly, I think I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Are you trying to tell us something, mate? Fucking hell. You can probably see how the romance of this show ruined it for me. And it sucks because I think 7 Deadly Sins is a decent series. It's not a bad watch. But there's no denying its unnecessary use of EDP romance. He doesn't need to meet her here. It doesn't serve a purpose. In fact, he doesn't even need to see the baby here. King doesn't need to be an adult here. He just doesn't. If it was just an innocent childhood romance, then there would be no problem. Instead, it just feels like an episode of My Wife is 9 years Old. And yes, that's an actual anime Japan has.
Yo, Japan, man. Are we serious right now, dude? Japan. Are we really serious? My wife becomes I'm not even gonna read. I'm not gonna even finish the rest of that title. Japan. This is the direct message to you guys. What are y'all doing? What are you guys doing? Because I know y'all make some iffy shows like that, but this, it takes a cake. I'm like, but what? These takes one of the cakes. What the heck? Oh, jeez, man. How do you approve this? How do you guys approve this? Oh my gosh. How do you guys approve this? What? Oh my gosh, man. How do you guys approve this? Who is the person? Who in the higher ups approve this show? I need to know their names because you're growing a community. You're growing a community that's I'm gonna stop myself before I get in trouble. I'm gonna stop myself before I get in trouble.
Fucking problems. But not only was the anime itself ruined for me, but it also ruined a few of my favorite characters in the series. One of them being Bon. Now Bon is basically this bandit type character who stole and drank from the Fountain of Youth and is now essentially immortal. Now nothing can kill him. Originally his life was dog shit. He lived in extreme poverty and he wanted to drink from the Fountain of Youth and gain eternal life to live long enough for something positive to happen to him, which led to him being branded as the Sin sin of greed. It's fucking cool. But there's one small problem with his character, which is he likes kids.
What's up, little girl? Are you lost or something?
What's up, everybody? Enjoying the video? That's great. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to know when I upload another video. Also, tune into the live streams. We live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So tune into whichever one that seems best for you. Also, join the Discord. Link in the description down below. And 98% of you guys are watching the videos. If you guys be watching the videos so much, hit the subscribe button. It's free. Without further ado, let's get back into the video.
You know, you don't make it easy for people to like this series. One of the best characters in this entire show, and for no reason you've made his love interest look 12. I mean, just look at this shit. Look at it. What the fuck, man? I can stomach a lot of bullshit when it comes to anime, but not this. This is just too far. Honestly, 12 might have been pushing it because she looks 5 from some of these angles. I know half of the cast looks like kids, but this is bad, man. This is really fucking bad. And I say looks bad because in canon, she's not actually a child. No, she's actually over 1,000 years old. Yeah, I'm sure that defense would work quite nicely in a court of law. I'm fairly certain that the she's 1,000 years old defense started here. She looks 5, but she's actually 1,000. Why? Just make her look adult. And the story actively goes out of its way to explain that she canonically looks like a child. As when they first meet, Bon literally calls her a little girl, and then proceeds to fall in love with her. I don't know what else I'm supposed to take away from that bond. But they also go out of its way to explain why. It's because she's a fairy. They live for thousands of years. She's King's little sister. In canon, she's a fully grown adult. And honestly, I think that's the worst part for me. As much as I hate to say it, underneath all of this is an actually really good romance story. Elaine, which is her name, was the guardian of the Fountain of Youth. As the queen of the fairies, it was her job to protect it. As the king was preoccupied. But as we know, Bon tried to steal from it and he was stopped time and time again until she found out his motivations and actually found it admirable, and the two bonded over wanting a better life. The fairy forest was then later attacked and Bon was fatally injured. She then gives up her life through the Fountain of Youth to save his. And that's how he really got his immortality. He then spends the entire series trying to bring her back. He even goes to the afterlife several times. It's not a bad plot point by any means. It's just undermined by the fact that she looks fucking 6. Instead of being romantic and heroic, he just comes across as fucking creepy. Get away from this child, man. The best romantic pairing is undermined by the fact that the author just had to keep the theme going. Couldn't bloody help himself, could he? And it really doesn't make it any better because Bon knows what he's doing. He knows how this looks. The author has specifically made him aware of this. And yet, it just keeps fucking going, man. And when he finally does revive Elaine, you don't feel happy or proud. You just feel sick. What the fuck am I looking at? And to add as many insults to this injury as possible, during Bon's journey to revive Elaine, he was accompanied by another person who actually had romantic feelings for Bon. I think this is the only time I've ever truly shipped something ever. Not because I actually wanted to see it happen. It was just because I didn't want to see this happen. Jericho was nice to him, Jericho liked him, they had chemistry, and she didn't look like a fucking lolly. The not being a lolly being more of a selling point for me. And just for your information, okay, fairies in this series can transform into almost anything. We didn't even know what King looked like for the majority of season 1. So Elaine can transform. She just doesn't because, well, I guess the author just wasn't really thinking now, was he? Her being a fairy means nothing, because fairies can transform. She could have looked like an adult from the start. Do you care to explain that one there?
I like him younger. As young as possible.
Okay then, right. Well, as you're now aware, Bon is no longer one of my favorite characters because well, I shouldn't really have to explain it any further, but mainly because everyone, and I mean everyone who watches this show, will automatically gain a new favorite character once they hit season 2. The legendary Escanor.
Yeah.
This guy is the GOAT.
You blocked my son? Who decided that? Yo, Escanor is tough, man. Escanor is tough.
Of this series, and single-handedly carries this show on his back at a certain point. He's the sin of pride. He has ego. He has the powers of the fucking sun. He's the strongest member of the group until the power creep ruins the fucking show. Now, I could glaze this guy all day, but we're not here for that. We're here to talk about the romantic element of his character. Who has the best character of this show been paired with? Now, I'll be honest, okay? Looking at the track record, I didn't have high hopes. I was expecting one of my favorite characters to be ruined before my very eyes. But lo and behold, Escanor falls in love with Merlin. The sin of gluttony, someone who strives for constant knowledge and power and isn't a child. Fucking hell, can we get a round of applause, please? Oh my days, finally a character who doesn't like children. Escanor, I knew I could believe in you. I knew you were my favorite character for a reason. Now, Merlin is once again another character who's over 1,000 years old, but they met when they were adults, so you can't really complain too much here. Fucking hell, is the bar really that low that we're celebrating an adult with an adult in this anime? And their romance is okay, you know, he's powerful, she likes power. It's a bit cliche, but I'm just happy to not see kids involved, honestly. They have some pretty good moments, and I think this is the one ship in the show where you can say it's pretty good, is what I'd honestly like to say. But no, he just can't help himself.
So that's your true form, I take?
Wait, what?
So that's your true form, I take it?
Why?
True form? No. Nah. No, I can't even say it.
Why do you do this stuff, man? You had a perfectly fine character with a perfectly fine love interest, but I guess that just wasn't enough. Nope, turns out that after her constant meddling in magic, her age was actually frozen at 12 years old. And she is chronologically 3,000, and uses more magic to make herself appear 30 years old. Why did the author add this in? What addition does it have to the story? Honestly, I don't fucking know. After this point, I dropped off. I stopped watching the show after this. Not only was the story just getting really uninteresting, but the amount of times that a child has been 1,000 years old is just too fucking many for me. I tried to research and spoil for myself why the author turned Merlin into a child, because I just really don't fucking care about this show anymore, seriously. And I couldn't find any reasoning that justified why this was necessary for the story. Why didn't he just freeze her age at 30 and keep her looking like this? What was the point? Well, I keep asking what the point is, but I feel like by now we all know. You're an odd guy. We all see it. Now, I don't know if Merlin can turn back or not, or whether she's stuck like this, or whether Escanor's relationship with her continues. And at this point, I don't really care. Seven Deadly Sin fans, honestly, it's no hate, but
Yeah.
I'm not watching this show anymore. It's not bad. Well, it's not really good either. I mean, it's alright. This video isn't really a review of the show, but it's far from the worst thing on Netflix. It's just the romance makes me heavily ill. That's one of my main critiques here. And I know that's pretty rich coming from a Chainsaw Man fan, but at least the pedos in that show die. These lot get married. Which brings me to my next point, is that this series is still going on till this day. Every one of the main couples have been married off, and they all have kids now, and they now have a Boruto style show. The official sequel to the anime called The Four Knights of the Apocalypse. So we have the author behind all of this stuff making a story about a bunch of kids. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. If the idea of Bun and Elaine having a kid together wasn't traumatic enough, then my first impressions of this show certainly were. Everything I've heard about this show, literally everything, has been not about the story or the plot or the villain, but the discourse has been a fully grown adult falling in love with Lancelot, which is Bun and Elaine's child. Oh my god. And he isn't Mon, has been a fully grown adult falling in love with Lancelot, which is Bon and Elaine's child. Oh my god. And he isn't masked behind being 1,000 years old. No, he's just straight up 10. 10 years old. This guy's not even trying to hide it anymore. He's not even fucking trying. Why is this a romantic plot? I have no idea. And I don't want to know, okay? I'm not watching this dog shit. I've seen my fair share of 7 Deadly Sins and I think 4 seasons is enough. The powers are nice, the fighting is nice, the characters are morally questionable.
And the animation is straight up pixelated.
OST is nice, the animation is inconsistent. But the biggest takeaway here is the romance is fucking disgusting. But oh well, certain mangakas are fucking weird. In other words, grass is green. But anyways guys, this is in fact the end of the video, and if you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comment. And if you made it this far into the end of the video and you aren't subscribed yet, then I don't really need to say it, okay? If you wanted to subscribe, you'd be subscribed by now. But with all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me on anything. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.
No, I gotta keep my fire on.
Yo, shout out to Miyazaki just for the video, man. Yeah, 7 Deadly Sins, it's in a okay show. Ain't peak. It's definitely not peak, but it is okay. But yeah, the romance and stuff, that's completely weird. See, I just when I watch anime and they have that type of romantic trope with that, I'm just like, yo, dog. Just have 2 adults on the thing, bro. I don't understand why mangaka, people who create manga be doing it, bro. I don't know why. I really don't know, because it's just weird. If it was like they both fell in love as children and then they grew up, or they had a friendship when they were kids, and then grew up into like 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and then they actually have feelings for each other, then that's okay. That's fine. That's alright with me. Or 2 adults, star-crossed lovers, basically. That's, again, fine with me. But the looking like a 1,000-year-old looking like a 5-year-old, and then a grown man or woman, I don't accept that. I really don't. And it's just, yeah, what Miyazaki just said, it's legit weird. It's weird. It's very, very weird as to why you could have done anything else but do that. And plus, it has no impact to the story. It's not gonna do not 1% of the story change. Nothing. Not gonna do anything. So like, why? That's my question. Why? Why? But again, shout out to Miyazaki just for the video. The original video links are down below. Follow me on all the socials. With all being said, this is Jeremiah. God bless you all. Jesus loves you. And repent and be saved. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's fine.